morning after. Today we are discussing episodes 7 and 8 of season 4 of Bachelor in Paradise. Oh my goodness. There's like so much to talk about and yet nothing at all. I'm going to start with episode 7, and I always go through chronological order. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I am dark again. I decided that it would be best to go somewhat back to my natural color for the wedding, which is on Friday. So I miss my ombre, but I feel that in the long run this is probably a better move. So episode 7. Dean. It just feels like eons ago. What bothered me about Dean, okay, so he makes out with Delos unknowingly in front of Christina. Christina is nearby. And then he finally talks to Christina, and it's like, he knows he effed up, so just like take responsibility. Instead, he comes off super defensive, instead of just being like, I effed up, I made out with another girl, I'm sorry, I'm a dick. And he made it all about the fact that she was nearby, and that he didn't know, and it was just like, Dean, no. Okay, and then Blake comes in, and proceeds to talk to every single girl about Waboom. And Andy and I actually had a discussion while watching this because we weren't sure whether or not this was like an edit or like a producer push, like maybe the producers told him to, you know, to state his side of the story or something. That was Andy's thought. I feel like Blake went in there looking for a redemptive story, sort of like JJ Lane or something, and in being defensive and trying to get that redemption, he might have ended up talking about it too much. And all it takes is like 2 minutes of talking about it with each girl, then you can pluck out those 2 minutes and put it together as a montage of him only talking about Waboom. So I feel like that was on him. He should have known better, but again, it could have been like 2 minutes of his time, and you just shouldn't have gone there. Plus, usually where there's smoke, there's fire. The fact that none of the girls were super into Blake, and that Christina, even polite, sweet Christina, was like, I had low expectations and he lived up to them, that's not a good sign. Okay, so I wanted to talk a bit about the scallop fingers thing because I've gotten several emails from you guys about why it's so wrong, and here's my issue with the scallop fingers thing, is it's not so much what she did or like teasing her about it. It's the fact that it insinuates something greater. It insinuates that she's like kind of dirty, and it's taking this thing that she did. You know, we all do silly things in day-to-day life when you're not on camera, that she did hanging out with friends, like in a cab or in an Uber or something, and then like broadcasted on national television for the world to see. It just is, and the fact that she's not in on it, the fact that she just found out 2 nights ago on episode 7, it's just kind of like, I just don't think it's that nice a thing to make fun of. I think she is a really good sport, and therefore it's become okay, but I think that the scallops thing is, it doesn't give me feel goods. Okay, episode 8. Wow, are they ever milking the fact that Jamie swings both ways in the sexuality department? Oh my goodness. It's like, will she pick a girl? Will she pick a girl? And then she ends up picking Diggy, and it's like, oh my goodness, there really is nothing to talk about this season. The twins coming on felt super contrived. I think we can all agree on that. But I wrote that down, that I honestly don't mind it. I felt like it was actually something. Like, yes, we know the twins are there, and they're like, I'm sure they're being puppeteered and being asked to do things, and they're good sports and all that. They're guaranteed drama because they're willing to play the game. I get that. But I wrote down, at least it's something. It's like something is happening. So if it makes for a slightly more entertaining hour, then I don't mind. Although, the shit-talking, why do they do that? It's so frustrating. I talk about this in my Flair recap. You don't have to call the other girls, what was it, ugly, shallow whores. I can't believe I just even said that. Because they're dating the guys that you maybe wanted to date when you came in this late. And here's the thing, the twins are in on it. Like, you know that they're bringing the drama, they're there to serve a purpose. I don't think they actually mean those words, but I still think that they're being enabled to, they're giving the material. It's just not a good look. You know, think about the young girls watching this show and like, to see two beautiful girls saying, oh, those girls who have the guys I want, they're dumb, shallow whores or ugly, whatever. It's just not, you know, there's no need for that language. There's no need to bring each other down that way, especially when they've done really nothing wrong. It's not like they even stepped on their toes or anything. There was nothing to talk shit about there, so that was painful. Also, Kristen at one point called Delos mild and vanilla or something along those lines. I have to beg to differ. I actually think Delos coming off really elegant, and she's obviously reserved, but she seems very like she watches what she says, and that's not a bad thing. There's a bit of Kayla in her that I see, and I think that that's a good thing. I think that it's not a bad thing to, you know, keep what you're, you know, just keep it together a bit. So I like Delos. Let's see. Oh, and finally, I was impressed by Wells's Australian accent. Was anyone else impressed by that? That's actually a really tough accent to do. I'm not even going to attempt it, but I was super impressed. And it once again led me to believe that maybe Wells is being primed for Bachelor, but I don't know. Mike Fleiss just tweeted out that it's not him. I don't know. He's just getting a real Nick-esque edit on this season, in my opinion. I talk about that in my Flair recap as well. So, on to your questions. At Sarah Tremblay asks, I know the pickings are slim, but who is your fave Paradise couple? The pickings are kind of slim. I agree, Sarah. Obviously, the obvious choice is Taylor and Derek just because they're really cute. I feel like they will be the, if any couple gets engaged at the end of this. Do I think they're at the point where they should be getting engaged? Probably not, but I think that they could absolutely have a lovely relationship moving forward. But they're really cute to watch. I gotta say my secret other favorite is Raven and Adam. I think they're really, really cute. And like they're throwing like food into each other's mouths and they're always joking around. They're kind of the peanut gallery with all the drama going on. So I think they're really cute. Finally, Hey Jen Berry asks, what's your take on Daniel and Lacey? I find them the strangest, most fascinating couple, and I can't help but wonder if it's a match of convenience. I think it's, I don't know if I find them as fascinating as you do, Jen. I do find them strange. I do feel like it's a matter of convenience, and here's the thing. Maybe there is some truth to the fact that Lacey was waiting for Daniel. She came for Daniel. She wanted Daniel. But the fact that she just sort of, when she had a date and she was just sort of going to go on a date with anyone, it sort of like lessened the, you know, the meaningfulness behind her being into Daniel, because she was just so willing to like find anyone to stick around. Maybe there's more to the relationship that we're not seeing. I can see that happening. But yeah, I feel like they're just sort of, they're funny. They're funny, I suppose. That I will give them that. I don't really buy them as a couple. Do I see them lasting? Probably not. But they are entertaining. And Maureen says, you are a saint for getting through the season. Thank you, Maureen. I feel quite saintly myself. This is quite a rough season, you guys. This is rough. And let me know if I'm the only one that feels this way. Please tell me, and then I will try to watch it through a different lens. But I feel like, wow, this is some bad television. It's rough. And I don't say this lightly, because, you know, I know a lot of people involved in making this show, and I know a lot of people on this show. I don't say this lightly. I think that they did not have a lot to work with, and it's showing. Yes. Okay, Alicia asks, are you getting married this weekend and still recapping? I am getting married this weekend. Hence the dark hair, and yes, I will be recapping the finale. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me. We're gonna make it. We're so close. We're so close to the end, you guys, and then we can say that we watched Bachelor in Paradise season 4 together. Hurrah. And thank you, Susie, for your congratulations. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you here next week on the morning after. Bye.